females in the yards of a staggered crop, and he was even tainted in the direction of digging a hand, in which he was shocked by panic. A man who fears that his body will be discovered, it was then rejected on the grounds that old age was not at home. One of the most important things is the cooperation of each other's home, and it is her own. What must be transferred to him? The pigs came to the fore with the heart of the beauty. What is important in the population is a fishing island. Moreover, under the pretext that everything is heavy, the bag is crowded into the yard. Tensions are extreme, and she rushed. The better the bag, and without the meaning of leaving, the first man who was suddenly afraid of digging in the backyard found that it was good or more than men. This was a sudden pumping of men's soiling is not, nor is it rural or present. Men in the direction of a poster institution, dressed in the gallery, and the men, by trip, stepped towards him and rescind his head's driver's sudden man's joy, rushed to run Siemens, telephone calls on his side, window watching men however, no man's whereabouts have been detected. She was still not seen in the yard. She was panic running the latter house, however, is the same for men as for empty. He had a black voice outside the window, and he had to go to the rest. The journey, the opening of windows, found that men were only taking photographs. Men explained that he merely wanted a little picture to give his wife an appreciation. Not only so, men must also find her tiles for the evening of her old Ictanus, which binds us not to go back and not easy to go. Men's sudden hearts are also relaxed. After the return of the old age, helping to inflame him directly to take him to a later house, for fear of Thailand, she alone returning to the home, the old public was removed, and the capital was transferred to a sudden fear. At a time when men live in institutions, if thought was taken, then the Colton was dug. It is also not known that for many years, he finally heard the legs of old public access, with the province passing through the blue. The hearts and minds are to jump. Others have nothing, but the best of mind I said that the building was shattered at the time, and men rushed to the mile. He was used only as a handbag with revenge, a man who explained to say, he is merely a joy. Previously, when the construction was carried out, the workers lost one piece of waste, and in that case, the tacit tastes were those of waste. Dissemination. The hindsight looking at the immediate hand gloves, pressure without believing in old sex, men are a relaxation of self-defense shepherd. See wife's statures, which do not believe, men lose patience. He cites medicines and asks whether the wife has implied medication. The wife was emotionally motivated, asserting that what he saw was a hand in hand, and expressing the need for himself to see men in person. Contents uncontrolled wife comforted, he said that perhaps because of the cradle of the sister of Juliet, the wife would be so sensitive to men. Perhaps one of his own depression, a man's mind, seems to have some confidence in old terms. On the job's basis, China has received a transition. He is not talking about, for example, water. Males then headed for wife, relapse after all, he told him that he was able to ease tensions and anxiety. Guinea awakening from the nightmare, finding that old age is not at the end of his life, guessing that old age is probably the greater of the city, the second day of awakening, and finding that old age is ready welfare, and saying that they are too late and are not outside, because the rains are too large, some of the jobs handled in book houses are too cumbersome and sleeping in book houses, it is psychological that a later family is expected to go back to the sister of Jun Yamada, and to open the association. This is not only the case, but he is still the garage has also been found on old buses with frivolous suspicions and a few days of hard labor, and remains on tires. No. He did not think and was involved in praying. When they return to the garage, the police suddenly find their doors. In addition, the body of the embargo, which brings with it a shocking news, was found to be in peace, as in the case of water, when a man indicates that he or she can drive a car to the police station. Police investigation. At this time, the fears of Judaism are even more serious, and he feels that old public bodies seem to conceal what is a great secret, the police and the public at large. He left the past. When sobering, it was found that a new neighbor was taking care of herself, and that the neighbor had told her body that the wrong place had disappeared, asked they are not well dealt with. Having heard this statement, the pig is blue, the commission has set up a passenger order, immediately followed by his arrival in the room to open the room. Control systems for mobile phones, while detecting nearly 2 days of monitoring videos, are all removed, all of which compels him to suspect that he is in his own possession. What is he going through? Had the gold mining number been lost or the body of the yard was transferred?